Rakan, all four up and willing, but our Mayo has had such a high priority on Sejuani throughout his whole career, not just his games that he's had with EG. Played it both of the regular season times versus Cloud9 last time around as well, and wants to steal it away from Blaber.
Apart from Trundle, this is also his just most picked over the course of his entire career. Cloud9, this time they're going to be sniping the Renekton away. Now, Spica, if you're in this position as Cloud9, do you want to lock in your jungle pick right now since you already know it's Sejuani, or do you want to make some of your other teammates look power picks?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I mean, Blaber is, you know, Maokai's out for Blaber, and apparently he's like 15-0 on
Yeah,
Maokai.
he's pretty darn good at it.
But I think Kaisa is also a really fine pick. It is very high pro right now, and I personally feel like Kaisa is very strong. There's, you know, a lot of junglers you can play. You have the Kindred, you have the Maokai, so I think Blaber will have a lot of options.
Kaisa, so you mentioned locked in. That was a power pick that made its way through most of the pick and ban phase in game one up until it was banned in the second round. And this time, Revenge is going to try his hand at the Aatrox and a return to the Jayce for Jojo.
I like the double slam here, both because they had a really good Revenge Aatrox game in their TSM series. So he's definitely super confident on it. It is also his most played, one of his most played champions. But they also getting that Jayce for Jojo here has been super reliable and does cover if you're going to put the Kaisa towards mid lane, but looks like, especially with the Rell, I always love that bottom lane combo. The Kaisa Rell, high priority towards that side.
So I want to point out a very interesting statistic while I was on the NA LCS. They said that Revenge in his career is 2-17 versus Renekton.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is really crazy. Maybe you know, he's a little shaky. I don't know if he knows about the stats, but that is honestly pretty shocking to me.
I have also talked to him, and he does know.
He does know. So it's in his mind right now.
He's got a little bit of like a Renekton complex there. Has not done well against it, and once again, gonna have to deal with it. Fudge as well has spammed it. It's been one of his most played champions, like a lot of top laners right now. But let's move into the bottom lane as well. Banning at the Rakan here. Don't want to let that combo go over. It's been so good for so many teams with the guaranteed engages. Just put Rell into the jungle, pick up the Rakan. So they deny that to Cloud9. And that's how Cloud9 won game number one. So EG very, very wary of the hard engaged options that they're going to be able to give over to Cloud9.
Cloud9 still have a jungler to lock in for Blaber, and a potential mid lane if they do not end up flexing this Kaisa to EMENES and give it with Berserker alongside this Rell. It is also an option that Rell could be flexed to jungle. I would be very hyped to see the Void.
Do it. You won't.
Don't
do it. You won't.
Yes, baby!
We got double Void. Okay, last time Cloud9 went with triple Freljord. Now they've got double Void. Would they go triple Void?
They're doing TFT
and
out
add a
here.
Vel'Koz in there for full synergy. I would love it if they just came into playoffs and were like, you know what? We're going to have themed drafts every single time. Honestly, though, Kha'Zix is really good right now. Definitely a very good meta for him. Sometimes it is super hard to play into a lot of these melee heavy compositions that have a lot of CC. Sejuani and Braum are two that kind of make your life very difficult as a melee assassin there. So I don't know how you feel, Spica, if you want to be in the Kha'Zix position at the moment. It definitely feels good earlier in the stages where you get to go look around for duels and isolated targets, but can be very difficult to team fight versus beefy front lines.
Gragas locked in the mid lane as well. Now, if we're talking about like the first 5-10 minutes of the game, you know, what is your objective as the Kha'Zix in this composition here, Spica?
I mean, honestly, I think this is a really, really good comp for Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix primarily just wants a lot of CC and engage and someone to go in for him, right? And honestly, early game is kind of a little bit tough. But I think if the Kha'Zix is able to farm, scale, get level 6, I think he's, you know, I think he could definitely have a good game.
Yeah, I wonder where he's gonna look here early on. Probably Renekton lane options there. I love the last lock-in for Cloud9 too. The Gragas coming back for mid lane. EMENES has been pretty good on a lot of the tank options towards mid lane. He was one of the first to pick up that K'Sante, put in a lot of K'Sante games. And mid lane Gragas.
I want to see what rune setup that Blaber is running, because I know over the years Kha'Zix has run different types of builds. Either it's the full assassin build, and it looks like that is going to be the play for First Strike. But before we get further into the game, we do have our sideline interview with Miffy and Gabby.
Thank you so much, Raafaa. All right, gotta ask. Kha'Zix here. Why?
It's just something we've been practicing, an idea we believed in, and it's been working all right in scrims, so just, yeah.
Okay, I know that they're actually showing your face and the other coaches of it during game number 1, though, and you didn't look the happiest even at moments when it was going well for Cloud9. What was your digestion of game 1?
Well, I mean, I just thought the game was going to go better for us. I think we just, like, the game was pretty slow, and we underestimated the power of like their champions, I guess. But yeah, like it felt like at some point it was their game to lose. So yeah.
I know you like Blaber on the Kha'Zix here. Speaking of champions, Armeo, obviously very good on the Ivern, and you banned that away. Another facilitated pick for him here. Any thoughts on what he's bringing to the squad different than when Sheiden was in?
Well, not really. I mean, he's just playing the same champs he's been playing all the time with the team, like Sejuani, Ivern. So yeah, there's nothing new.
Fair enough, nothing new. So is it a dub for Cloud9?
We'll see.
All right, let's find out.
Well, Blaber started this one off by getting 20 first strike gold off that Sejuani when Armeo come in to ward his Raptors. But of course, it does mean Evil Geniuses do have the ward on the top side Raptor here, Camp 4 Blaber. So they will be able to track him as he goes over.
As we noted before, the first strike build for Blaber is the one for Kha'Zix, so he will be looking for the assassination and straight up just full damage. Lethality build, more than likely either Duskblade for the extra increased execute damage, or if he wants to go for the Eclipse, if he thinks that he needs the armor penetration, what would you take in this instance?
I mean, I think on this patch, Duskblade is probably like the best build for Kha'Zix just because it actually provides so much protection. It allows you to go in, and then if you do get a kill, you're invincible, right? So you're able to go in, go out. As well as the damage, I feel like is pretty nice. So I think that's what he should be going for this game.
I kind of like this. He did not do Raptors. He went straight for red and looking mid. Off of a Gragas here, EMENES could do a body slam flash play to set him up.
Let's see if he makes it happen. Winding up. As you called it, Kobe. Body slam flash. But even the damage from Blaber's not enough to take out Jojo.
They do trade the flashes here. And now he can go back in, finish up the rest of his topside quadrant here. As Renekton also had topside push coming down through the river for a second visit, and he's got flash.
But Armeo is here to hover. Oh, but he's still gonna flash right on top of it. He's looking for the catch from EMENES, and they brute force it! First blood goes over to Cloud9, and Zven throws in a flash just for good measure to make sure Armeo doesn't go for Fudge. All
right, so I know Revenge had some choice words for teams that think they can just throw all of their resources towards mid lane at Jojo and defeat EG that way. But Cloud9 don't care. They don't care about what you say in that interview. They are going to continue to throw every single flash towards mid lane. Jungle flash they trade out for Jojo's, and then Fudge comes down for round 2. Guess what? I've got flash all the way down from the pushing top side. The Renekton comes in. He knows that they've got him dead to rights. Almost the counter kill there from Armeo, but Zven as well came up to throw his flash to make sure there's no counter kill to try and peel here with the flash and the Q. It is actually hilarious how many teams will just spend everything in mid to kill Jojo.
Yeah, it's a party in the mid lane. It's like they're lining up to get an autograph, you know? There's 4 people every minute.
The paparazzi's too much for Jojo. And this is starting to feel like a similar treatment of what we saw in last week's Best of 5 series between EG and TSM. That game 1 where Boogie repeated visits towards the mid lane, trying to get Jojo decelerated and giving EMENES the tools to be able to snowball and unlock this lane.
Okay, well, cool thing for EG for Armeo is that now they know 4 out of the 5 members of Cloud9 don't have flashes because they all used them to try and kill Jojo in mid lane and successfully do it. So maybe he can make something happen elsewhere. Sejuani plus Aatrox here has some possibilities. You know, Aatrox auto attacks aren't super quick, but he does have possibilities of setting up landing Qs, the E as well, doing a little bit of a reset there. So see if they can get Fudge with no flash. Watch the slice and dice angle.
Looking for the flash Q3, but Armeo doesn't connect on the Arctic Assault, has the flash in for the permafrost. They should be able to get the damage down with the Q from Fudge, gives them enough lifesteal, and Revenge ends up getting the kill, but it costs Armeo's life.
Nicely played by Fudge there to wait on it and then barely get out and save for the empowered Q for the big healing under tower. Let's take a look at it. So Revenge knows he can go for the flash on Fudge because he has no flash. Fudge, he got hit with the chain, but he knew he could slice out of it, and then the flash follow from Armero under tower. Empowered Q means that it is a 1-4-1 trade, and back to live. At least the minions aren't dying up there. Let me check. It is a cannon wave, though. So Fudge not too sad about it. Just doesn't get the cannon. It soaks up most.
Oh, man. Zven was looking for that Hex Flash in the mid lane. Just going to show up with the crash down, looking for a Q-stun. But Eyla is here for the counter roam. But EMENES, nice explosive cast. Punts away Eyla and Jojo, but he flashes right on it to guarantee the kill. Lockdown onto Zven.
Speaker, can we get an update on the grading for the Rell? Because that was a little deep under the tower, and EG have the extra members there to answer.
Yeah, honestly, I guess they're just really big fan of Jojo.
I mean, sometimes when you're in the same area as your idol, you know, you kind of mess up.
Yes.
You stun.
all you can see is Jojo's beautiful face.
You get a little nervous.
Yeah, exactly. Get a little nervous. Palms a little sweaty under the tower there. Goes on in, gets a tower shot, and once you jump in with the crash down on Rell, then you're so slow walking around with the metal pants, even with the attempted peel there from Gragas. Good answer from Evil Geniuses. And this is the other question. What can they get off of it? Triple control wards for Cloud9 invested in this red quadrant behind the dragon to be able to go move over to that objective.
Allows for the first dragon to be secured of the game well before the Rift Herald has spawned. So Cloud9 are now have a chance to reset, and if they want to shift their resources all the way towards the top side and compete for that objective as well. Big question here, though, is Fudge. Flash is still down. EMENES will have his flash available. Do Cloud9 feel comfortable taking a fight in the Rift Herald as level 6 power spikes are coming up for both of these teams here, Spica?
I mean, I think EG has a pretty decent chance of winning. I think C9 kind of over-invested in trying to mess with Jojo. I think after the initial flash, it feels like you're going to get a lot of pressure, you know, when C9 used like 4 flashes to get 1 kill on Jojo, and even then, he's fine, right? And now, if you look at the top matchup, Aatrox is actually chilling. Compared to the last game where Renekton was up 30 CS, he was up 2 plates, and he was having lane pressure, but this game is kind of like the opposite, where Aatrox is going to be very scary later on in the game, and you know, there's a lot of melee, so I think EG should be happy right now with the game state.
Oh, they look for the explosive cast right on the Jojo. He has the flash available. Oh!
I'm sorry. I cast the curse though.
Welcome to the official Caster Curse Club.
I'm part of the club now.
I'm watching it as you're saying it. I'm like, uh-oh, here comes the Gragas ultimate right into their waiting arms. That is going to make Rift Herald a lot easier. They just killed Jojo. He has no teleport to get back out here. So EG, they're calling Braum up, but it looks like AD carries will both be staying bottom. As Berserker walks back over, they feel like they've got it under wraps here with the kill onto mid lane, and it's got 3k health, but they just need one more eyeball pop to be able to finish this off here for Cloud9. There it is, chunk it down. They've got 600 HP smite, and you can jump over the back.
Oh, they throw the Glacier right onto Blaber, flashing forward, but he's able to get the leap on over the wall. That's a summoner spell gone, but he's still alive.
Close there at the edge with the commitment of the Braum ultimate. Here's another look at it. Jojo melee formed in on the minions, so kind of giving a self alley-oop to EMENES there, and EMENES says thank you very much. Even though your jungler, your jungler has been here for the last like 30 seconds, watching, pushing in the wave. If you're gonna jump right into my waiting arms, then I will dunk you under the tower. Meanwhile, topside here, the Revenge versus Fudge matchup. One that also has been kind of highly anticipated. Both these top laners have a lot of respect for each other, talking about it pretty frequently. And I do like what I'm seeing here with the Aatrox going the damage version, rushing into the lethality here. That was the big buff to the Aatrox, was the percentage scaling here on the Qs for the damage later. And we remember the TSM series where Revenge had a huge Aatrox game becoming a big problem. So wow, right now, Cloud9 are in such a good spot. Very, very big opportunities for them. Maybe there's some hope for EG down the line, possibly out of some big Aatrox plays.
Yeah, it's a very different game state from Cloud9 versus what was going on in game 1. Evil Geniuses seemed like they had complete control of the early game, and while it was more on the slow side, Cloud9 still couldn't really push EG into a state where they were, you know, falling away with the lead. This time around, Cloud9 seems to be way more in control. the question does come down to, with all the resources, as you pointed out, Spica poured into putting Jojo behind, can EG bounce back with now the fact that Revenge is not behind in this matchup this time?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the side of C9, they have 3 completed items versus 1 on the side of EG. Oh.
Does he kill him? The comment?
That was fun.
20 HP. Not even close.
But like I was saying, I think it's going to be tough for EG going forward to this early game just because of how accelerated C9 is right now. So they're going to have to look for picks and opportunities.
Picks like
this one.
Permafrost, Place of Prison, the Chain, CC, Wombo. Zven, not a chance to flash out of that one.
I feel like we cursed him in Champ Select too, talking up his Rell, like, oh man, yeah, him on engage supports is fine with the Rell. Looks really good. And multiple times now, he's crashed down forward into enemy territory, and he's just walking around with the slow metal pants, nowhere to go. That money also went onto the exact place that Cloud9 don't want it to go, the Aphelios. Unforgiven getting that kill credit there is huge for EG's hopes. Even though it is still going to be really difficult here. You know, you just had the Everfrost finish there for the Gragas in mid lane. EMENES has actually been doing quite a lot of work there, especially with some of the opportunities that were presented to him.
Next Dragon available in less than 20 seconds here. Cloud9, they are on track, if they're able to get this next one, to have a very fast stacking soul for themselves. But Evil Geniuses, as you called it out, still are waiting on some power spikes for both of their solo laners, Jojo and Aatrox, not available. But for the very least, Unforgiven being able to finish this Kraken Slayer will be able to pump some damage in the skirmish.
All right, Blaber's on the double lethality spike here with the Umbral Glaive plus the Serrated Dirk as well on the Kha'Zix. Jumps out from the engage.
Blaber still doesn't have flash, but Armeo doesn't have Glacial Prison up. Still waiting on that cooldown to come up after they made the pick onto Zven, so C9 still have control of this river, whereas Revenge and Fudge both don't have teleport, so they will not be joining this fight.
And I think it should be a Cloud9 pull here on Dragon. Sejuani, as you stated a couple times here, no ultimate, so without that big engage, not a lot of possible focus here for EG. They're just going to let this one drop into the hands of Cloud9. It's not time to fight yet. Try and scrape together some more money on their carries. They still don't even have 1 item on Jojo yet.
It's a Hex Soul as well for Cloud9. 2 dragons to their name. They could, if they were able to get every single dragon on spawn, it would be around the 24-minute mark before that they could have Soul in their favor. Evil Geniuses still have to brute force their way through knocking down this turret, as the mid lane tower is 1 plate away from falling. Cloud9, I imagine, if you're in their shoes, Spica, like, where do you want to put a lot of your control and your vision? Do you want to push it through the top side of the map, or do you want to push it through the bottom side of the map?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now C9's main goal is to try to get the Jayce behind. I think they're already super ahead. You know, they have 2 dragons. They are on track for the 24-minute Dragon Soul. So ideally, they just want to pressure the Jayce, make them not able to farm, and then I think they should be able to control this game fairly easy, as well as, you know, Kha'Zix having Umbral Glaive, and the map should be pretty dark for EG.
Yeah, Blaber here, almost to the Duskblade as well. I want to see some cool synergies. You know, the Gragas ultimate can be used to isolate targets for the Kha'Zix too. If EMENES is really good, you know, he can create some really nice setup plays for Blaber, splitting enemy teammates apart so that they become isolated for him to pick off, and then giving him that untargetable from the Duskblade so he can move around the fights. I want to see this Kha'Zix picks really shine, since Cloud9 were kind of talking it up from scrims.
We briefly saw a little bit of the Kha'Zix flavor over at MSI, but, you know, once we came back to NA here in LCS, it seems like all the Nidalee fun picks, all the Kha'Zix picks just stopped being picked around. So if Blaber can make this champion work, then it's just going to put another wrench in Evil Genius's ability to adapt into Game 3. No Rift Herald still for the taking for a couple more minutes. My mistake, it is spawned right now, as I was looking at the Baron timer. But Rift Herald now available. Cloud9, they have full control, and it doesn't seem like EG are really in a position to launch a counterattack.
I mean, I think EG has all completed items, so, you know, if they do offer the fight, I think, honestly, this is like their best chance right now.
Oh, here we go. The double teleport comes in.
They called it. Glacial Prisoner right on top of Zven. They can burst down one target. He gets a Magna Storm at least before he goes down. Revenge is in the middle of everyone, and he just gets obliterated by Cloud9. Now they're trying to kite their way out. Evil Genius is trying to keep the range advantage as well. Fudge already popped the dominance, but he's losing HP as Armeo flashing forward right on top of it. Fudge forced to flash as well. Eyla jumping. Arctic Assault lands the permafrost stun. EMENES trying to body block it with the body slam, but Unforgiven finds the damage. Blaber jumps in, forcing the flash. Berserker with the power instinct. They're so low for the side of EG, and Cloud9 just find a way to take them all down.
Oh my goodness, Cloud9 decimate Evil Geniuses. They also got the Rift Herald, and then with EG over chasing here, it all explodes when Berserker jumps in. Kaisa jumps in, then the Kha'Zix immediately following up there, and they take them apart. Let's take a look at the first kills that happened though, because it ends up being a 1-for-1. They burst down Zven again, but Cloud9 also get the answer kill on the enemy top laner with Revenge, and you definitely take that. So EG chasing here, trying to proc something, trying to get somebody isolated. The flash from Armeo, they really wanted to get that last attack onto Fudge, but by the time they finally get it, he's too far away. He gets the healing with his Empowered Q plus his Gore Drinker, and that buys time for C9 to answer. Berserker sees the angle, flies in on all the low health members, and Blaber had just chunked out the other member of EG. He's able to finish off the last one. A full ace there picked up off of Rift Herald number 2 fight. This game just went from Cloud9 favored to Cloud9 owned.
It is just incredible to see how much patience Cloud9 demonstrates in their ability to wait out cooldowns and communicate vital information on when they can re-engage and look for mini pockets, and they do not hesitate when they arrive. The fact that Evil Geniuses kept them on the run, and then at the last second turnarounds from Berserker, EMENES, Blaber, and Fudge, absolutely incredible. So they look for the dive onto the bottom side of the map, but Fudge is gonna get completely blown up as Evil Geniuses commit the teleport from Jojo to make sure that they save Revenge under the tower, but the tower cannot be saved as the Rift Herald makes the charge.
Pretty good denial here, honestly, from EG. They get a kill for themselves, and no local gold, at least, for that tower given over to Cloud9. Charge down. Let's see if they can get an objective bounty afterwards, too.
Yeah, Fudge has TP available, so he is able to join this fight.
14 seconds. Can Cloud9 stall enough time before Fudge can rejoin the fray? This is the third dragon of the game for Cloud9, and they want to take it, but they have to wait out the time, as you called it. Fudge has teleport available. Engage already from Zven. They're forcing the fight even before Fudge gets there, and they just blow off multiple members of Evil Geniuses. Fudge wasn't even needed. Now he comes in to teleport, and he can just completely zone Unforgiven off. Hopefully he doesn't take too much damage, as Armeo is now the one isolated from the rest of the Evil Geniuses, looking for the Hex Portal, and Fudge able to rejoin the ranks. And this should just be an easy dragon pickup. And guys, I don't know if this is too early to call it, but this might be just pretty much done for Cloud9.
I gotta say, I'm loving this Gragas mid pick. EMENES is making this look really good. All of Cloud9, of course, from the beginning of the game, have been playing around the Gragas. But that ultimate right there, too, Zven right over the wall, picks up 2 of them, perfect positioning, and then he hand delivers this Aphelios. Look at this. Beautiful start from Zven. Berserker dives in. The Gragas ultimate just shoots that Aphelios right into the hands of Kha'Zix, and they instantly delete 2 on the timing of that Fudge teleport that you're talking about. So he's into the back line, and that's just guaranteed. Really nice in-sync calls here from Cloud9. Back-to-back team fights where they call their moment to turn really clearly.
Yeah, good play from Zven there. He just needed a bit of time to warm up.
Rell's back on the menu. Looks good.
I can see that you're being careful about not hyping up Zven too much so the caster curse doesn't come in again. But for Cloud9, 7,000 gold ahead. They are at soul point. Dragon would be available in the next 4 minutes. Evil Geniuses have no room to play with in this bottom side jungle, and Jojo is just gonna get dove under tower. There is nowhere for him to go. Blaber and EMENES are cut off by Eyla and Armeo, but do they have the damage? They have to wait for Revenge to join the fight, and they blow up Eyla before Revenge gets there, and he's trying to do as much as he can, but Berserker demolishes him. Evil Geniuses, what can they do?
Oh, Berserker's not done. He wants Armeo's head.
Right into the back line. Unforgiven is able to fight on back. Berserker's not going to get the kill. Moonlight Vigil, not enough damage.
It's definitely getting exciting here. Speaker, how do you feel about the Eclipse here for Blaber? I mean, it gives you more sustain to stay in some of these fights. Sometimes the shield and the speed are super nice, even though Duskblade right now, everybody's always looking for that on-target ability.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Eclipse is honestly a pretty good choice as well, just because of the building armor pen is very valuable. You know, as you get more items, as well as needing that shield to stay alive. But it's looking rough for EG here.
It certainly is looking rough. Let's see. Hex Gates out here. Maybe they can catch something. They're getting a little desperate.
Nice explosive cast. Armeo forced a flash. Body slam flash from EMENES right on top of the backline here. Jojo gone. Eyla gone. Cloud9. They just cannot do any wrong. Evil Genius is losing almost their entire team. And Unforgiven, I mean, he's a pretty strong Aphelios, but he's not going to be able to 1v5 this one.
Yeah, and right now in comms, you know, if I'm AG, I'm saying, hey guys, what are we doing for next game? Yeah, I think this one's gonna be hard to come back from, so I think you just gotta focus on the next one and, you know, what is working and what is not.
Yeah, honestly, I'm doing that if I'm Cloud9 too. I'm full autopilot now. This is the stage of the game. They've got Baron buff. Berserker, you just go push on your own. It's fine. Everybody do whatever you want.
He's got a Magi.
He's got an 18 stack Magi.
He's got the mid tower. He's got his Magi stacking up. Cloud9 are fully reclined at the moment. Everybody's back on the map now with the Hex Gates too.
And Armeo, I don't think those Krugs are safe for you to farm anymore. The explosive cast splits him and Jojopyun up. The body slam connects. Armeo is gone. And Cloud9, I think I'm just going to echo Mark's words on the lounge. I think the way after game one ended so cataclysmically in Cloud9's favor, the mentality that they are coming in with this game and the way that Evil Geniuses are not able to bounce back in this second game, we could be looking at a sweep.
All right, here they come. Nothing to stand between them and deleting this inhibitor at least. Will anything stand between them and the Nexus? Right now, they've got Jayce split pushing to get an objective bounty shutdown for the side of EG. And they do at least claim that. You get the nice little noise. That's always a little bonus too. Some extra gold for the squad. Try and craft together some sort of answer here.
And I really like the adjustment that C9 made going to game two. I think after game one, they're like, oh, the game is too slow. We want to be in the driver's seat. We want to be the bus driver. So I think going to game two, like, oh, we want to engage. We want playmaking. And honestly, it's been working really, really well for them.
Yeah, and they drove that bus straight through mid lane right at the beginning with 4 flashes. Blaber having some fun. I love this stage of the game with Assassins. Kha'Zix gets to go play around in the jungle.
Oh my goodness. Eyla's got to be careful. Thankfully, he is now grouped up with friends, so he's no longer isolated for that extra bonus damage from Kha'Zix. Now Blaber might get punished. The short hop trying to look for the blast cone on the exit.
Like I said, they're just full recline, having some fun now.
But Berserker's able to pop some more stacks for his Magi Soul Stealers. He finds Unforgiven in the base, and now they're hammering their way through the middle lane inhibitor. They're making short work of the top side inhibitor as well. All 3 inhibitors are about to fall in favor of Cloud9. This is tough for Evil Geniuses and Cloud9. This is an absolute show of dominance right now. I don't think they're going to be looking for the base end, but they're going to get pretty much everything from Evil Geniuses.
All right, what's the angle, Speaker? I know you see it. You can see the thread.
I see no angle. I just see going into game 3. You know, guys, when we drafted, you know, we need to help Jojo. We need to protect him, and
it's a go next angle.
It's a go next
I also see that angle. Yeah, I would hit /FF.
Yeah. I mean, if this was the scrim game, I think we would have been out like 8 minutes ago or something. But you know, Evil Geniuses, just like Cloud9, how they found a window in what seemed like a done and dusted game from Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses are going to hold on to the hope that Cloud9 get too comfortable as they have this lead and mess up, because that really is kind of your only opportunity.
Yeah. 13.7 thousand, the gold lead here, and Cloud9 coming to finish the job.
Hard to throw that.
Here we go. Hex Soul on the way. You have no wards. Soon you will have no base.
And it's already throwing out some barrels for a little bit of poke. Just waiting on the next minion waves to start pulling in through the mid wave and the bottom lane. They never took out the top inhibitor, so they don't have super minions coming through the top lane quite yet. But Cloud9 should be able to make short work of these Nexus towers off the next 2 waves through the mid and bottom side of the map.
I want to see Zven elevate from the... Oh, never mind.
Glacial Prison right on top of Blaber. They blow up the assassin. Hold up now. Maybe Evil Geniuses could cook here. Nice explosive cast. Catches Jojopyun and Zven is able to catch him right on top of it as well. Fudge answering back on the damage. Wait a minute. Evil Geniuses are defending the base. Cloud9 might have got it too comfortable. And now it's up to Unforgiven and Revenge to look for damage. But Berserker still got a ton of stacks on that Magi, so he does insane damage. The base will be defended successfully for Evil Geniuses, but Cloud9 are relentless in the pressure. They want to look for at least one of these Nexus towers. Teleport is coming in from EMENES. They're going to look once again. Zven with the crash down. Armeo stunned up. Eyla trying to defend as much as he can. Zven almost goes down, but doesn't die. And Cloud9 will not take the base today.
Professional opinion here, speak up.
They're having fun.
Having some fun at the gates. Berserker feels like he's the one holding it down right now. He's like, guys, come on, focus up here. Let's just end. He's forcing them back. He's keeping these openings alive. He's the one like getting counter kills when Blaber dies in the jungle. And the Kaisa's trying to hold it together. Now he's got his Void Staff as well. All right, guys, for Berserker's sake, let's focus back up.
I almost wonder if it's like a bit of a mental warfare, if you know what I mean. It's like sometimes when the game is so doomed, right? You're tilted, you're not feeling good, you don't want to play the game. But C9 is just keeping them in the game, so next game they still feel that. They still feel being trapped, you know, I don't do anything.
They're keeping them in jail right now. It's not even your own team hostaging you, it's the enemy team hostaging you in what you know is doomed already. All right, now he's got blue buff and the Hex Soul. Those are some annoying Kaisa W's for sure.
Just waiting on these next minion waves, but Baron is spawning and Cloud9, they don't want to chance it anymore. They can go for the guaranteed objective, so they have the empowered minions to make that push easier.
Yeah, they're keeping him trapped inside the torture chamber here so that Zven can keep spamming the Pepega Frog at them. I want to see if he throws the actual physical plushie that he brought here. It's sitting on his desk right now.
Oh, that would be insane,
and
Banter.
They've got the cool new setup where they're facing each other in the studio here. But Cloud9 coming again. 27.5 minutes, that's it? I thought this game was longer. Oh.
A relatively short game for Cloud9 against Evil Geniuses. Game one lasted a very long time. But Cloud9 with the Baron buff on their side, with Hex Soul on their side. Super minions pouring in through 2 lanes. This should be their siege to take game 2 and put them at match point as one last attempt. They find Berserker! That's a huge shutdown from Evil Geniuses. Do they have the damage to back it on up? Unforgiven, able to relentlessly just pour damage into Cloud9. What is happening?
Oh, really good engage from Armeo there, finding that angle.
Yeah, Berserker just deleted there immediately. Are you kidding me? Who's keeping who in here now? This, honestly, I'm Team EG now. All right, this is too many defenses at the Nexus turrets. Hey, like you say, it's the Q sideways. You always love while you're sliding, throwing out the ultimate, and he nails Berserker with it. Once you take down the Kaisa, I mean, that has been the thing keeping Cloud9 on pace here. So huge play from Armeo. And by the way, he was the one coaching Cloud9 in the previous split, you know, working very closely with Blaber, with the entire team. Now on the other side, defending the Nexus. Now they've got their inhibitor respawned as well. The gold lead is still gargantuan for Cloud9, but EG are not going to go down without a fight. I love that, you know, they're so tenacious in their defense here. Maybe they can do another couple ones.
Yeah, at what point in the game does a 10k plus gold lead actually not matter as much anymore? When you just hit super late game and everyone's at full items? It just seems so unfathomable that Cloud9 are still not able to end this game. But Evil Geniuses, as you already said it, Kobe, you know, their tenacity has allowed them to withstand the pressure. They are still holding on to these 2 Nexus turrets. Not one of them has been taken out by Cloud9 yet, which has made their chances to stay in this game still alive. And the poke is just absolutely devastating from Cloud9. And this time they are not just, you know, just diving forward. They are not giving a window for Evil Geniuses to engage this time.
The minions are focused. The minions are focused up. They're taking care of the Nexus turrets.
Oh, Armeo was looking for the Arctic Assault flash into the Glacial Prison, but Berserker just easily sidesteps, not even needing a flash. And this time the Nexus exposed, and Cloud9 find their window to look for the end of game 2. Cloud9 move to match point against Evil Geniuses.
Some interesting endings we've had for both of the games in this series so far.
4 times the charm.
All right, Evil Geniuses, how do you bounce back into game 3? How do you stay cool? How do you stay calm? Because